many people set resolutions, right?
Oh my God. I always say there's no, resolutions fail. So we got
Yeah.
to create a revolution here, baby.
And one of the funny things about this is I really thought about it, how people set New Year's resolutions and they never keep them. January 1st is best resolution. February 1st, forgot there was a January 1st and it's all over, right? Or maybe January 14th, it's over, right?
Yep.
And with COVID and other things going on, did you know that people are having the COVID-19?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like the 19 pounds they gained during COVID.
Yeah, the COVID-19, they're gaining the 19 pounds or maybe the 38 pounds, along with a lot of other things, right? I mean, a lot of angst in the world today, a lot of fear, a lot of inflammation, a lot of depression. I mean, there's a lot happening in this world today. And I got to tell you that I've seen some great strategies to help people through these times.
Absolutely. And one of the things is, as you've been my doctor for, oh my God, 10 years now, we talked about that the other day, and not just for chiropractic, but all of our health needs. Yardley and I have just kind of our primary doctor, which is so interesting.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that, if health is your wealth, and we know coming into the new year, it's super important to take care of ourselves. And I thought this would be a great conversation because I have been working with a lot of my clients that are dealing with inflammation, depression, having all kinds of different challenges and thinking that the answer is a pill or the answer is something else, but don't even realize that our foods we're eating are affecting us. It's affecting the way we're feeling and other things. And, I had a challenge a couple of years ago, as you know, and it had to do with blood pressure.
Yeah.
And we ended up making some really big shifts. And one of the things that we did is in my shifts, not only did it change my life, it actually changed Yardley's life, And for some reason, he's not with us yet, but I'm sure he'll be joining us soon.
Yardley!
I have no idea where the man is, although he's in the same house as I am. I have no idea where he is. But what was interesting is we wanted to share something that I ended up doing, and a lot of people don't even realize that I ended up doing, and that was going on like a sprint set program that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it so we can help me with my blood pressure, which did help it. And there was a side effect of doing it, which most people didn't know about.
Yeah, what was that side effect? Can you share it?
Yeah, I can absolutely share it. The side effect is that I had to change my lifestyle and how I ate. And we did a whole cellular detox and reducing the inflammation and other things. And what ended up happening is I convinced Yardley to do it with me. And Yardley lost 26 pounds.
Yes, he did.
He did. And of course, I was jealous because I didn't lose 26 pounds.
Well, you didn't have 26 pounds to lose. That
wasn't the point. The point is that he lost a lot, and I was very jealous that he lost a lot.
That's right. And we had to create a different strategy for you, right?
Yes, we did.
The strategy was different, so that's why it's customized for the individual.
I just thought 3 pounds would have been good, and that's about what you allowed me to lose. But I thought that the fact that he lost 26, that would have been cool if I did that too. But the cool thing is that we helped a lot of other people release a lot of weight too.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. See, look, if Lisa had lost 26 pounds, she would have been like 80 pounds, right? So there's no way as a doctor I would let that happen. There's no way.
But I was negotiating it. I was trying. I was negotiating. I was thinking that would be a good plan, but obviously it wasn't a good plan.
But what we did do is replace, unhealthy pounds with healthier pounds, right? Unhealthy cells with healthier cells by putting your body into autophagy, where your body went in there and said, hey, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to clean out those cells. So now that my hormones and my receptors can speak properly together, the inflammation goes away, any brain fog that could have ever been there, even though, you're just you at 50% is better than somebody at like 300%, right? But, just lifting that away, getting your body running healthy and vibrant again, getting that blood pressure under control, that hypertension under control, and getting your life running at its optimal best.
Without a doubt, But you know what? We do have somebody here with us that came to you for the same reason of inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's so interesting that people come for one reason but get different results, right? Like I came for my blood pressure and Yardley lost all that weight, but I also got my blood pressure under control. But I want to bring in one of my wonderful friends and also an amazing woman, and I'm going to bring Brenda in, and she's going to join us, and somehow I'm going to make us all together. And as soon as I figure out how to do that, I can't wait to do it. I'm going to bring us all in together. And I'm just excited about figuring this out because for whatever reason, I'm not doing a good job right now. But I will figure it out. Give me one moment to do that. Let's see. How can I do that? I just had it, and now I don't. Oh, I did it. Okay, got to do one more shift. It's not the way I want it. There we go. And
all
then
right.
I could go this way.
a little magic here. A little magic
You
here.
gotta realize we all like to have fun here, right?
So Brenda, when you actually started with Dr. Roger, we were at an event where Dr. Roger and I were speaking, and you were helping me, and you were having all kinds of challenges, right?
Yeah, I was sick and tired of having like neck pain, back pain, and actually at the time my hips were really hurting and bothering me. And you guided me to Dr. Roger, and I think, and
basically brought you there.
you did. And what happened in that? Well, first of all, Dr. Roger gave graciously of his time to me, which was just beautiful. And he did some tests and figured out that I had a lot of inflammation in my body. And here I felt that I ate rather healthy and, I exercise, I have a great mindset. And, how could my body have all this inflammation in it? And he had suggested that I come in for evaluation to talk about a program that really is designed to help with inflammation. So I actually drove 2 hours to have that evaluation. And I made a commitment to myself that day. I made a commitment to myself to feel better now. And almost immediately, I remember it was actually almost a year ago. I started right before Thanksgiving. I did my sprint set. And I was so swollen that I couldn't wear my wedding ring. And so that was my Christmas gift to me last year, which was just maybe about 2 weeks after starting on the program that I was able to put my wedding ring on. And actually I had eczema all down my hand. I got to get used to the camera. I had eczema all down my hand and actually all through the scalp and behind my ears. And that all went away within, I don't know. I mean, Lisa, you got many phone calls from me about how excited I was that all this stuff was happening rather quickly. So it probably within the first 3 weeks of being in the program, that happened for me. So that was all great and wonderful. And, however long, I think it's 70 some days, the initial process, maybe.
The
Anyhow,
that you went through was,
yeah. And so at the end, I had released, I believe, 20 some pounds. The body fat that went down in that short amount of time. I don't even remember, but it was percentages. I didn't come for weight. I didn't come for losing weight. That was just a side effect. And I think even when you met with me, Dr. Roger, you were like, what would it be like if you lost some weight? And I was like, that'd be great. But if I can get my body feeling better, I'd be even happier. And the hip challenges dissipated shortly after I started as well. So I had some really fantastic experiences.
Yeah, it's incredible, right? I mean, we took, from a chiropractic perspective, getting adjusted, that's life flow. And then from a lifestyle perspective, that's where we came in with Sprint Set. You combine the two together, life flow plus lifestyle equals a longer lasting and healthier life span, which is what it's all about, right? I mean, as you heard Lisa say just a few seconds ago was, hey, you're not wealthy unless you are healthy, right? And that's exactly what we were doing, is helping get back to state of health. And, thank you so much for trusting in us, right? And, that's where it starts. It's, that you're open and you're willing to do it. There are so many people out there that are very resistant, to moving forward, or they make up every reason on why they're already going to fail before they even start anything, right? And you were so open. You did incredible, just like the tens of other thousands of people out there. And we help people all over the country. So not just here from New Jersey where she had to drive in. We also do things remotely for people, right? And we also have practitioners all over the country as well. So just to add that in for anybody who is listening in.
Yeah.
So I do want to say it's been a year for me since I went through my initial program. Obviously, you can see I can still put my wedding ring on. I don't have eczema. I don't have eczema anywhere on my body. I'm still about the same weight that I had released through the program. My body knows when to eat, when not to eat. It's amazing. So thank you so much.
And no more, I think some of the biggest things that people don't actually even realize how important, and we have somebody else to join us shortly too, is that, how much better you start to feel. And we don't even realize sometimes the aches and pains we consider, it becomes a norm, right? It's just, I'm used to having it and you just deal with it, but you don't have to. And sometimes the absence of it is forgotten. It's like long after, but the fact that you weren't able to exercise before, you were able to stop all the stuff you love to do. Now you're doing that again. I mean, all those things are just life-changing in so many ways. And
look at her beautiful skin. I mean, look at it. I mean, listen, unless you've dealt with eczema, like you just hear the word, eczema, right? And I got to just tell you, from working with many people with eczema, it's how did it make you feel from a confidence standpoint? Like when you had eczema on your body.
Hold on. How did it make me feel? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like when you had eczema and you were dealing with that on a daily basis, like how did that make you feel?
Uncomfortable. My head would flake. So it really just made me felt self-conscious. Also, I couldn't wear it because it was all on my wedding ring. So I couldn't wear my ring. I think that was probably, I've been married 15 years, and that was probably was the biggest thing for me, that I couldn't wear my ring for I don't know how long, because every time, the eczema would just flare up through my hands. So,
so you just heard her say, right? It makes you, aware of like, all right, I got my skin is flaking. Is it getting on my clothes? Yep. People are going to think I have dandruff all over me. Am I doing that? I can't put on my wedding ring of the person that I committed to, my love of my life, right? And it's like, I want to wear that. What's that do? It's like I'm walking around with this ring. This is a symbol of my love, right? And it brings me joy to do that every single day. Like I love wearing my wedding ring. I love my wife, right? And I wouldn't want to go without it. So, and it's so important.
I'm not going to lie, going in my closet and putting any clothes on is also a beautiful thing. Like, I'm not going to lie, like putting a pair of jeans on and not feeling bloated and uncomfortable is amazing. And that I can wear jeans all day and the button doesn't get tighter and tighter and tighter as the day goes on. That's pretty fabulous as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what's one of the big things for me too, and it's really a serious thing, is knowing how to, I think that when I even say sprint set for life, I think it was an important thing to capture of what I was saying, because it's called sprint set, but I just said sprint set for life, because one of the things I think is, look at this, look at her before and after. Look at this. This is. That's
her before. Look at the after.
Very cool.
Right there. Look at that before and after. Can you send me that before and after? Because that's incredible. Like, wow, send that to me, please. Thank you. Wow. I mean,
one of the things that a lot of times people don't quite actually even understand is like for me, and I say this because a lot of people don't think about it. Why would I even do sprint set? I've never been more than 5 pounds from my goal weight. But for me, it was a health thing of just getting the inflammation down, figuring out what's going on with the whole system. And I think that people, when they learn to eat properly, can sustain a weight. And I'm going to say this for women who go through menopause, because you're younger than that. Brenda, but I'm already in menopause for several years, and people give us excuses that, oh, menopause is why I'm heavy. And I'm going to say, that's not why you're heavy. It's garbage in, garbage stays in. It's not that you're heavy because you're in menopause. It's because you have to do things differently. We have to adjust some things in our hormones, and we can actually be functioning as well as we did when we were in our 20s and 30s. So Brenda, thanks for joining us. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm excited you're here, and I'm actually gonna share. I brought somebody else, Dr. Roger, ready, and this is another one of my amazing friends and clients who really came to similar thing. It was because of health. It had nothing to do with weight. There were some health challenges going on, and I told Vinu about you, and she ended up coming on. So I want you to bring her in. There's this beautiful woman.
Hey. Anybody on the chat, say hi, what your name is and where you're from, so we can say hi back.
Absolutely.
Vinu, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yes.
I'm going, where do I look? Where am I right now? Am I going here?
Damn it. Got to see what's going on.
Yes. So Vinu, you had like amazing results with Sprint Set. And again, it started out for other reasons.
Yes.
You want to share?
Yeah. So I was on your summit that you hosted, and I was like driving all over the place. And then I finally got to a place where I could hear, because I had back roads, and Dr. Roger was on, and I was like, and he was talking about gut health and how inflamed people are. And people think that like their weight is, just in your fat cells and things, but it's really about your gut health and cleaning out I'm like, oh my gosh. And then he started talking about like backaches and headaches. And I'm like, oh, does this guy already know me? Like, is he talking to me? And so, and I had one of my kids talking, like, shh, I got to hear this. I got to hear this. And then, he offered a free consultation. So of course I jumped on that call within the next day. Like, I'm an action taker. So I'm like, I'm not waiting. Like, can we do this tomorrow? And he talked to my husband too. So he did 2 consultations, and he's like, everything you're describing, it sounds like your gut, and I didn't think I was fat. I was actually content being 157 pounds at the time. And I just got used to the fact that, this is how I'm going to be, and I'm comfortable. My husband loves me for me, and I'm good, and so then he's like, well, I think you need to do Sprint Set. And I'm like, okay. He's like, we're just going to clean out your gut. We're going to get rid of the inflammation. And how would it sound if you can wake up and like walk and not have back pain? You don't have headaches anymore. And I'm like, oh, that would be so great to get off my verapamil every day, because I'm like on all these medicines for all these different headaches. And then he referred, because I'm in North Carolina, so he referred a chiropractor who practices very similar to him, and that also knows about Sprint Set. So I've been going to him regularly, getting my adjustments, and I dropped 26 pounds in the 71 days. It's not 72, it's not 70, it's 71. I had all my genes that I had before I was pregnant with my twins in 2012. And for some reason, like, I was hanging on to them because they're like my true religion genes, and I'm like, oh, I can't get rid of these. Like one day, now those genes are actually too big for me. So I think that's a sign that regardless, I got to get rid of them. And I went and I bought all new clothes. I went from a size 10, 12 to a size 2, 4 in dress sizes. I wear now a small, not a medium. My bra size changed, my underwear size changed. I mean, this is probably TMI, but it was interesting because like Christmas happened, right? And I turned into Betty Crocker, and I made all these amazing cookies and desserts and stuff for my family. And I, of course, was eating them. And all of a sudden I started seeing my face, and then like, oh my God, my neck. And I'm like, I'm gaining weight. And I was so afraid to get on that scale. And then I remembered what my coach CJ told me. She says, get on there with no judgment. Like, give yourself grace, and just, you got to know your starting point. So the scale is not to say you're good or you're bad. The scale is to say, hey, this is where you're going to start. So 3 days ago, I got on my scale and I was 138.9, which I have not been ever since sprint set. So I'm like, oh my gosh, because I stayed between 132, 134. I got back on my protein shakes. I got back to doing my 3.5 ounces of meat and veggies. I got off the carbs. I got off the sugar. Just 3 days. I've only done it for 3 days, and I'm back down to 135. So I just go back to my regimen. And what I've learned from this is that, and I did go through the headache. Dr. Roger would be happy to know. I went through my sugar headache yesterday, and I'm like, okay. And what I realized is that it's my body. It's my body talking to me. It's my body saying, I don't like this shit. Stuff. And, you know, I don't like it. Like my mouth likes it, but my body does not like it. I got bloated again. And like, I've never really liked my neck. And so I think that's where I focus on. And when I started seeing my neck get kind of pudgy again, I'm like, oh, where's that protein shake? Where's my pea protein shake? And, you know, I stay true to what I know, and I already know. And what I loved about Sprint also is it taught me what my body likes. Like, I cannot have red meat past 5 o'clock. My body does not like red meat past 5 o'clock. If I'm going to have red meat, I need to have it during my lunch. My body loves cucumbers. My body loves celery. My body loves chicken. So knowing what Sprint Set taught, what my body likes and what it doesn't, I can actually eat nuts at night. Like, I like a snack, and eating raw nuts, my body likes it. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I found something I can actually snack on, because it's one of my guilty pleasures is eating at night, you know, when I'm just kind of downloading. And I go past that like 8-hour window, but I just want a snack. And I found out my body actually likes, you know, cashews and almonds, and I end up losing weight every morning I was waking up losing weight. So
did you hear that? So what I want to just bring this back really quick here. What she was telling you is that through Sprint Set, and this is the key factor here, is that we work on identifying what is going to be your preferred foods, what is your cautionary foods, what is your avoid foods, when is the best time to eat them for you, what's the best portion control for you, because it's customized for you as an individual, and it's a complete discovery session of identifying who you truly are. There are no two people that have the same fingerprint. And there are no two people that are going to react exactly the same way. Everybody's going to have different preferred foods, cautionary, and avoid. That's why she has a winning solution. And Sprint Set has been in the making for many, many, many years, 17 plus years right now, right? And being part of many other things out there, especially in the functional medicine space, in the weight loss arena, in the detoxification space, all of it, all the knowledge that I've ever gotten come together, tested on tens of thousands of people, and being able to scientifically make it as an organized system that works not for one person, but for everyone straight through, right? And it's all based on Nobel Prize winning science as well. Not one, but 2 Nobel Prize winning sciences that are incorporated into our system. For me, it has disrupted the weight loss space, right? And incredible for inflammation, incredible for blood sugar level, incredible for hormones, incredible for life. And
I'm
it
off my
is
Verapamil, by the way. Like, I don't take Verapamil anymore. It's like I don't need it. Like, and my body is good. And I was listening to the other lady that was saying how her ring size is. So I have this little ring on because my wedding ring is getting resized. My other rings, I just got this one back today because I had to go down a size. And then my other ring, I tried it on and it was still too big. So he still has to resize it again another size.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lifestyle. And like, that is so important. And why I refer this, Dr. Rogers, is because one of the things that I see failure with the clients that I coach, and although I coach parents and kids, there's still failure. And what that is about is they give up, right? They give up. That's failure when you give up, because they don't know their own accountability. They don't know accountability. They don't have that emotional pull to keep them going. And one thing that I love about Sprint Set, and I tell everybody, like, it's not a weight loss system. It's a way that you're going to learn how to live and what your body likes and not, and you have accountability every day. Like, my coach CJ was freaking amazing. You know, when I hit my plateau, because we do hit a plateau, she's like, great, you're going to have an apple day. I'm like, what the heck is an apple day? And I'm like, can you survive off just apples? She goes, you're going to hit an apple day. And it just took me right off the plateau. And then, like, if I did, like,
it was a cleanse reset day, really, right? So it was just about giving your body the ability to slow down, right? And then let it process and cleaning out the liver and the gallbladder, right? So letting it flush out so that the body would have the ability to reset and then overcome a plateau. And that's why it works so effectively for you.
Yeah.
And like, I did have some cheat days because I lost my father. I went to California, and here I'm calling Dr. Roger. I'm calling CJ. I'm like, I already know I'm going to eat my Del Taco. Like, that's just a given when I go to California, and my friends know that about me. And I did not crave it. I had it one time. My coach told me how to get back on. I didn't have to I'm like, oh, I need to take a pause. I didn't take a pause. And it was so interesting. My cravings were gone. Like normally I eat Del Taco like every day I'm out there. I had it one time and I was like totally satisfied. And I took the cheese off of it. I just kind of ate the meat out of it. Like I just reframed of what Del Taco looked like to me now, without the dairy, without the carbs, and kind of sticking to it. So even now when I go to restaurants, I know what to order. I know how to make a better choice. I know what my body's going to like. And I know the consequences if I don't make the right choice, what my body's going to do the next day. So
I think the important thing is that learning that, we eat to live and not live to eat, also understanding what your body wants and what causes inflammation, what doesn't. And, I joked before about some of the things with it. I think that it's just even the recipes alone that I learned to create foods that I never would have thought of. One thing that's really funny during the holidays, I love apple pie. I don't know if you do, but one of the things I love about apple pie is the crisp part, right? And that's always my favorite part. And the irony about it is that there were just recipes in the book that I got everybody eating stuff that they never would have eaten before that were so crazy delicious. And I make it as part of our staple food. It's not a diet. It's just a lifestyle. It's a way of eating. And I think that that's where learning, it's not about deprivation. You're not going to not be able to eat foods forever or anything else. It's about learning to eat what your body wants.
Yes, you're eating all real food, first of all.
You're eating real food.
There's no prepackaged foods and all that, right? It's all real foods. But there's also different things like, for example, I don't think you can see it here, but there's Mexican seasoning that you can even create right here, or a barbecue rub, right? For somebody's like, oh, I want barbecue, right? You can have
plenty of flavor and stuff.
Yeah, I want a lemonade. Well, we show you how to make a strawberry lemonade slushy, right? Or hey, I want to have a Bloody Mary. We show you how to do it and how to make it work, right? So all of those type of things are there, or your own special type of salsas, or steak dishes, or a Mexican. I'm saying Mexican because you said Mexican, so like a Mexican strip steak or traditional.
I have my thing all
or
down.
Tacos. That's what I have here too. Or tacos, or a fajita salad. If you like Mexican, I'm giving you a Mexican right now, right? Or let's say that you're like, hey, look, I want to just eat like an oven roasted herb chicken. Well, we got recipe in there for that. Or you want a caramelized garlic chicken. I'm getting hungry just thinking about these things. Or hey, look, I want some Chinese, or I got some Chinese chicken and cabbage this year for you, right? So we have so many different options right here that are just mind-blowing and so tasty. And I got to just tell you that.
No, but I got to tell you that I even have Asian recipes. I make yardley. We
got it all. We have all the cultures in here, right? I come from a Mediterranean, Middle Eastern background. We got Middle Eastern and Mediterranean dishes. Like we got it all. So it's incredible.
I make great Indian food now because I know what spices and stuff I can use and what I can't. And like my Indian food is amazing. So I just want to throw that in there too, since we're talking.
We're international.
International. That's right. That's right.
Vinu, I want to thank you for joining us because you've got, I love the fact, and that's where this whole thing started. I was saying to Dr. Roger, because originally for me, it was my health, it had nothing to do with weight. And Brenda had a similar story. You had a similar story. She had a similar story. Keita, another one of my clients, Refined to Fab, had another similar story. She's released like almost 40 pounds. And it was all, all of us, and none of us had the COVID-19, although that's how I started this thing, right? Saying, people had COVID-19, they gained 19 pounds during COVID, but it was more about taking care of our health, and our health is our wealth. And I think that that's the important piece. So Spirit, thank you for sharing, and you're amazing. And And I love the fact that you're going to stay as a great example for other people.
She is. You know, somebody on the chat feed. Thank you, Vinu. You're incredible.
Okay.
So somebody on the chat feed said like, hey, like they were talking about calorie counting. Well, Sprint said we don't count calories, right? This is about nourishing your body, right? It's never about a calorie. So I just wanted to make that very, very clear. And then, you know, when you walk away, you're really going to know your body so well, and that's why it's sustainable. And you have a coach that's with you every single day. You heard Binu talking about a coach, right? With a coach that monitors you every single day. Like they're there to monitor you and support you. And if they need to coach you through something or a challenge, or she was going on a trip and there was a death in the family and all of this, and they helped her through that, right? They're trained on behavioral economics, and we fully trained them on that. So we have a great team that's there to support you. And there was a lot of time, energy, money, focus that went into this development to make it so incredible, you know, for you.
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting because one of the things that I think is super important for people is there are going to be those New Year's resolutions. There are going to be those people that will want to be doing this because they actually do want to lose weight. I mean, that's a reality. We need to hit that. And if you're one of those people that want to lose weight and keep it off for good, one of the reasons why I even support the program that Dr. Roger has and created, and like you said, Nobel Prize winning technology and everything, is because it follows my principles of real food, learning to eat healthy, eating for life, eating how your body needs to eat, and not being on a diet, not in a deprivation mode, but in a way that you can actually feel good about what you're eating and feel safe about it. And I mean, you know this way too well because Dr. Roger and I are like brother and sister. We're godparents to his daughter. And one of the things that's always like dark chocolate is totally my Achilles heel, right? I love it. And I'm not ever deprived of it. I stay the same weight, but it's really about eating healthy and knowing what you can eat. And, you know, I actually want to invite Yardley on because one of the things that was so important is having support, you know, and when I had to make some changes because of my health being an issue, having somebody to support me was a big deal. And when I had to support me, I was like, Hanson, we're going to eat different. And different just meant, you know, times a day and the types of food and just testing out what was happening. So I'm going to have you join us and also here's Yardley. And if you don't know my other half, then here he is now. He looks a little bit short on the camera, but
Lisa, to that point, research shows that, and it depends on the research study, right? So this is why there's a range here, but 85 to 95% of people fail because they don't have the support. They don't have the support. They don't have the accountability, right? Long term as well, right? So, and that was one of the things that we said that we must put in there is making sure that somebody has that support and that accountability, but not just for the length of a program, because Sprint Set isn't just for 71 days or 45 days or 17 days or whatever system that you have. It is a lifetime because it's continual. After you get through that first Sprint Set, then you go into what we call Sprint Set for life. Now you're part of a community. You're part of a culture. You're part of new recipes. You have chef corners, coaches corners. You have all those things, and everybody interacts. And that's what's so incredible about it. And you still have the monitoring on a daily basis. That's what makes it so incredible with different challenges as well. And there's a lot of support and camaraderie throughout it. And that's what makes it a long-term success rate as well.
Absolutely. And Hanson, first off, you didn't just support, you also are an amazing cook. So you had to actually help and adjust our cooking too, right? So how easy was that for you? I don't hear you, honey. So
don't hear you. Sound check. 1 2 1 2.
Okay. So until we hear him for the moment, he said he was having technical challenges before when we started. So I think that's what happened. Nope, still don't hear you, babe.
He'll get it though. He's a technical guy. If anybody will figure this out, it'll be him before me. So it's a good thing it's happening to him and not me.
Okay. And if you need to come down here, Handsome, then you'll need to do that because we don't hear you. We're not hearing you. So, but what I was going to say is that, just the opportunity to share this with everybody. And I'm going to actually have Yardley come down here so he can share from this computer knowing it's working. One of the things that I think is so important for people is whatever plan you decide to do, I just want you to know that with COVID and with things out there, take care of your health. I think that's really a priority. Right. And you know, whatever you need to do, find something that will work for you and that you can stick to. That's the first thing. The other thing is, it's not I'll do it when. What happens for most people, and I can even be privy to this too, in the sense that, you know, I wasn't worried about it. I've always been slim. I know how to do that, but my health wasn't responding right, and I needed to do something different. So let's not wait until you get sick before you do something. I think it's important to do something beforehand, and you can set up a free consult at findtofabconsult.com. Set up a quick little chat. We'll see if it's for you. It's no pressure. And if it's something that you want more information with and you want to see if and how it works for you, we'll be happy to have a conversation and share with you what the options are. And Hanson's here.
Lisa, how do they do that? Can you put the link in the chat so that they can, you know, be able to do that? Because when you were speaking, I don't know if everybody caught that. So if you could put it in the chat that somebody can just download that, click on the link so that they can do that with you.
Absolutely. If you just go to findtofabconsult.com and you can set up an appointment with me, and I'll also connect you with Dr. Raj's office after as well. And we'll be able to set it up for you. It's a free consult and see if and how it can help you. And, you know, somebody said it's all about lifestyle, not being on a diet. Yes, I totally agree. It's totally about that. Somebody else wrote here they need the book. So Dr. Roger, you got to set the appointment with me. I'll show you how to get the book and more. There's more than one book. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole system behind this. That makes it work so beautifully. And let's see if we can get Yardley. Are you there now, handsome?
I'm here. Can you hear me? Oh, wait.
No, he's.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's fun. Yep, totally fun, because now I got to figure this out. Go ahead.
Okay. So it's really interesting that in the support system for my wife, when she wanted to do this because it was for her health reasons, that I turned around and said, all right, well, I'll support you. And, you know, who knows? And it was really easy on the recipes and the detox. I think the first week might have been the most
Can you look up?
Interesting because of the fact that, you know, it was a detox week and stuff, but it was really healthy. And I was saying to myself, well, I'll support you, but I have no desire to lose any weight and everything like that. And I've been exercising a lot. My personal trainer, however, did mention on the fact that if I was like, I wanted to get the 6-pack, and she had mentioned to me, it was like, hey, listen, for you to get that 6-pack, it has nothing to do with exercise. It's there, hidden behind the fat. You just have to change what you're eating. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, been there, done that, and didn't really work. But as I was supporting my wife, Lisa, what happened was that, you know, after the first week of detox, like, okay, everything's going well, no harm, no foul, no loss of weight, but I was detoxifying. I actually felt the difference. And then from there, what had happened was that when we start back, because I was asking Dr. Roger, and he's like, I don't understand what the sprint and the set. What am I doing, the set or the sprint? I have no idea. Anyhow, I just followed the book that they showed you, and then what was really cool was after about the second week, what had transpired was I was cooking slightly different just because to follow the recipes going a long way. I love using spices, so that wasn't so difficult. It was just some of the things I was used to, but I was like, all right, well, I'm willing to make an effort because I said to myself, look, I've tried a couple of different things in the past, never was able to get rid of that fat, quote unquote, that got rid of to see that 6-pack. Been there, done that, tried everything, and all of a sudden it was like, all right, let me give this a shot. And as I was cooking for my wife and myself, what happened was I started, not that my wife told me never to weigh myself, but I was like starting to weigh myself, and with the coach's help and everything, I'm like, hey, just do it anyhow. So I was marking it down, and I was losing a pound a day. And 26 days later, I lost 26 pounds, but more importantly, I'm like, weight is nothing, because I know for a guy it's really simple, but what was unique for me was I actually lost 7 pounds, I lost 7% body fat, and that was huge. And all of a sudden, this 6-pack came out of nowhere. I was like, oh my God, I'm not exercising. And I was like, I got my 6-pack. And of course, my personal trainer's like, hello, we've been trying to tell you that if you just changed, you know, the way you're eating and recognize what works for you and what foods don't work for you, then, you know, it'll work out for you. And I was like a believer. It's like at that point I was like, honey, I'm supporting her still, but privately I'm saying to myself, hey, wait a second. I lost 26 pounds and 7% body fat, and in 26 days plus the detox week. So in 33 days, I lost 26 pounds and 7% body fat, and I was jumping up and down. And 6 months later, I'm like, I'm still 26 pounds off, and I'm like 7% off. And I was like, wait a second, let me build up some of that muscle. So I know muscles weighs more than that of fat, but I actually gained like 5 to 10 pounds of muscle, which is really good. So that's really healthy. So the body fat is actually down. The weight is up because I actually built up more muscle. So that's really pretty cool. And I still have like my remnants. I still have the 6-pack. You know what I mean? It shows. It's kind of like the 5-6-pack. So I fell off the bandwagon a little bit. But what's more importantly, like as you heard from Vinu earlier, it's like I know the different foods that impact me, what the adjustments are, what I do and don't do, and how it'll affect my body fat and weight. So that's really cool.
Hey,
so,
it
comes in.
Was it a year?
It's off, and it's like a permanent thing. And it's been over 2 years now, so it's pretty impressive. So
can I go back on?
Yep.
2 years. 2 years, right? And he said that, hey, I could still somewhat see my 6-pack. Right? 2 years, right? It's 2 years. 2 years, right? Yeah. And through Corona. Right?
Look, he's all excited. You're going to show you back. He's looking at his stomach.
2 years, right?
He's going to start getting undressed.
I can't. I was going everywhere and sharing with everybody. Like, I was going up to strangers, the hair salon. I was showing like all the women. I was like, check out this 6-pack. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I was so excited. I was showing everybody. And I was like, you don't even know them. I was like, I'm showing everybody.
Stop.
And we got some other sprint setters that are on here right now, right? That have gone through it like recently, and one who's done it years ago and still doing incredible. June is on there, Erica's on there, right? They've done it. You hear what they're saying there. I love Sprint Set, excellent program, right? It's sustainable. It works. It works every single time. And it's just like hitting that reset button. Boom, right? Reset your weight set point. And that's what you did. All you did was reset your weight set point. Once you did, that was it. It was locked in, right? It's locked in. And that's what I love about it. Really do. Incredible.
Well, I want to thank having Yardley here was tons of fun. And thank you for Brenda and for Vinu, and June is there, and Erica. There's so many other people that have actually experienced that are even on watching us right now, which is really wonderful. And I know there's thousands of more who have had the experience with Sprint Set. And if you would like to be somebody who no longer has COVID-19 of the 19 pounds you may have put on, or also wants to stay healthy, wealthy, and wise, taking care of your health is the most important thing. Schedule a free consult with FindToFabConsult.com. Let's help you lose weight and keep it off. And also, again, Sprint Set for Life, and help you there. So, Dr. Roger, thank you for joining us. Lots of fun here. Oh my God, we could have our own little show with what's happening here.
Right. Lots of fun. Lots of fun.
So, do you want to close out with anything before we go?
Do I want to close out with anything? I think, whatever you choose to do, stay focused on it, be committed, right? I said, commitment day is coming up right here in 2021. And you're going to be in great hands if you're looking for some support with Sprint Set. I mean, as you heard here, we're there for you. But whatever you choose to do, just play full out, right? And show up. And I know that it can be challenging, and some things may take you off track. And when it does, just know that you can get right back on, and you can do this, right? So whether you do Sprint Set or you do anything, just be committed to yourself, and you'll win. All right. So I'm here if you need me. My heart is in the right place to support you. You got a great person like Lisa right here as well to support you, and I got an enormous team behind me to help you win if you want our support. So God bless. Thank you for this time here, and looking forward to supporting you in any way we can.
Okay, wishing you all the best. To be continued, go to FindToFabConsult.com. We love you. Stay healthy, wealthy, wise, and we'll see you soon and help you make it a reality.
All right.
So long.